Hey guys, welcome back to my channel for the watch. It's your girl Miss K. If this is your first time coming across my channel, welcome. Please be sure to subscribe if you like the vibe and hit that notification bell so you know when I upload more videos like this one. Okay guys, I want to quickly go over the last episode of From season 3, episode number 6, called Scar Tissue. Let's get into it. So Jem and Tabitha argue, all because Tabitha wants Jem to stop being encouraging to her. At least that's the way I saw it, but obviously there's some underlying issues there, right? He tells her that she did the best she could, and Tabitha says, "How do you know?" So she's beating herself up, and he's like, "I'm not gonna rip you to shreds, you know?" So clearly they have a much needed argument, which didn't make much sense to me, but it seems like this is how they communicated before they got to Fromville. Okay, so Julie, she confirms this later on when she lets her mother know that she heard them arguing and shouting and all that, and at least some things seem to be getting back to normal. Of course, it was total sarcasm, right guys? But I'll tell you one thing. Tabitha was spitting some stuff during that argument, okay? She was basically telling Jem that he had the nerve to complain about being with the kids for a few days when she had to be with the kids for a year while dealing with Thomas's death by herself, as Jem was away at work. You know, he was able to throw himself into his work instead of like dealing with their son's death. And I'm pretty sure that had to be hard for her, okay? Now, meanwhile, guys, Jade is trying to explain to Boyd that the bottle tree and all codes have to mean something important, okay? Jade is very, very excited about this. And Boyd is just like, huh? You know, I thought you had something exciting to show me. So he's not really sharing the excitement. But Boyd does tell Jade that there's also another bottle tree out in the woods. So now Jade wants to find it. Later on, we also see in order to keep Ethan occupied and make him feel like he's helping, Jade was having him piece together the codes found in the bottles, okay? Next, Victor is on a mission to go into the tunnels and find Jasper, but Henry insists on going with him. He tells Victor that he lost him once and he's not about to let that happen again. So off they go together. Next, Randall wants to check out of the clinic, okay? Although he sees that the damage is done to his face, he apparently believes he can change the bandages when he wants to, okay? But before he leaves, he asks Marielle why she's pretending to be okay. Like, you've been through the same thing that I've been through, and I know you're suffering, okay? Long story short, Marielle, she isn't really trying to talk about it. So Randall says, it must be nice and easy for you in a place like this because you get to go to sleep next to someone every night and you get to pretend that all is right with the world. Then he tells her that it's not like that on the bus, you know, it's freaking horrifying, terrifying, scary, you know. So Marielle tells Randall that he can, you know, move into the clinic with her and Christy. And I thought that was nice, you know, something that Randall definitely needed. Next, Donna makes a memorial out of Dale's, you know, death spot in the pool, and I thought it was really nice of her. You know, she's kind of taking it hard, you know. So Tabitha comes by to give her condolences, and she starts going on about feeling like a failure for not getting answers for everybody. And I loved how Donna tells her that the most important thing is that you're back with your family, okay? You don't owe nobody no answers, girl. You just need to be here, okay, for your family. That's the most important thing. And I definitely agree. Screw everybody else, you know? Donna tells Tabitha not to be a hero because look where it got Dale. Next, Christy tells Boyd that there was an ultrasound machine on the ambulance, so Boyd goes to tell Ellis and Fatima the good news, but before he can tell them, Ellis and Fatima tell Boyd about Fatima's weird cravings. And that's when Boyd tells them about the ultrasound machine, but Fatima is very apprehensive about it. So Ellis has to excuse Boyd for a minute, and then he tells Fatima that they can't keep hoping that things get better. And at this point, you can tell that Ellis is trying to keep it together and be supportive to Fatima at the same time, you know, but he's like, come on, like, it's killing him too, you know? So anyway, Ellis is able to successfully convince Fatima to get the ultrasound, and we'll get back to that later, guys. Next, Kenny tells Donna that he wants to move into the colony house because apparently Jim got rid of Tien Chin's junk drawer in the kitchen, okay? So it's looking like Kenny doesn't feel like his mom's presence is in the home anymore, especially since Jim and Tabitha's family took over. Now, Kenny does recognize that his mother would have wanted a family to have the house, but it's still sad that he feels there's no room for him there anymore. right? Next, Dead Tom appears to Jade at the second bottle tree and tells him that he should sober up if he really wants to beat this place, okay? Sober up and tap into the old Jade who was able to build a multi-million-dollar company, okay? Because that guy had tougher skin. Next, the creepy kids show up to Tabitha's house and they just keep saying Ankui, and she's freaking out, saying, I tried to help you, I tried to help you. She clearly thought they were trying to hurt her, guys, but maybe they appeared to her again to remind her, hey girl, don't give up on this mission, we still need your help. Next, we're back in the tunnel with Victor and Henry, and they finally find Jasper. But Henry has an issue with like staying quiet, okay? So one of the night creatures who was sleeping, he wakes up thanks to Henry. But to be fair, guys, Henry saw something on the table that belonged to his wife, Miranda. But still, with all due respect to Mr. Henry, I'm gonna need you to shut up, okay? Now, thankfully, nothing happened and they got out safe. But before they left, one of the night creatures appears out of nowhere and says, you know, Victor, if you keep coming down here, one of these days will make you stay. And I'm just like, well, why don't you just delete them both right now then, you know? And don't get me wrong, I don't want anything to happen to Henry or Victor, but what is the master plan with these creatures, huh? Like, what are they doing? Why did they just let Victor and his dad go? Like, it's just strange to me, okay? So another thing that I learned from Victor in this episode, guys, was that the creatures like to take things that belong to the people in town. Now, maybe this was something that was already established, you know, but it's the first time that I'm hearing it, okay? Next, Fatima comes into the clinic to get her ultrasound, and Christy tells her that she doesn't see a baby. You are not pregnant. And I was like, wow, that's really, really sad, you know? And so at this point, I'm just feeling like that place, they wanted to mess with Fatima's happiness because Fatima had a very great attitude for somebody in a place like that. She created her own little like utopia in the midst of their hell, you know, that they were living in. She's free-spirited. She's always happy. She's trying to find the good in all of that stuff. And I think that the creatures were annoyed with it, or like whoever is the master plan of this whole thing was like, you know what, we're gonna mess with her mind. You know, we're gonna give her false hope, create a miracle in her life just so that she can turn around and not really be pregnant. And I think that's really sad, you know. They just wanted to mess with her. So yeah, I mean, but my thing is, what's making her have the cravings though? You know what I'm saying? But whatever. So anyway, creepy dead lady tells Elgin that she can save them all and help them get back home, okay? But she needs his help. So, like, when are we gonna get to the bottom of that? Okay? Next, we have Jade, who tells Tabitha that the kids aren't gonna hurt her because they need her help. Then Tabitha sees a picture of the wards found on the settlement. And, you know, this jogs her memory. And she asks Jade if he saw 3 red stones in a circle. So apparently, guys, she had a reoccurring nightmare when she was a little girl. And it was a nightmare of Fromville. And that's how the episode ended. And I just can't tell you how annoyed I was with this episode because the information that we're getting isn't helping anything. Like, it's worthless, you know? But at least my boy Jade is optimistic. That's all I can say. You know, keep the faith, Jade. Maybe Dead Tom is onto something. You know what I'm saying? But we'll see. Let me know what you guys thought about this episode, okay? Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. And hit that notification bell so you know when I upload more videos like this one. Take care and be blessed. Bye-bye.